So now that we have finished the topic of Parliamentary Committee, let's look at some of the questions that has been asked in the UPSC exam previously. The first one here deals with the Public Accounts Committee. The statement reads, it consists of not more than 25 members of Lok Sabha. Now we know PSC has 22 members, 15 from Lok Sabha and 7 from Rajya Sabha. That means statement 1 is incorrect. The second statement, it scrutinizes appropriation and finance account of the government. So this is one of the functions of the Public Accounts Committee. We have discussed it. So statement 2 is correct. The third statement reads, it examines the report of the Comptroller and the Auditor General of India. Now, the CAG publishes 3 reports, and we have already discussed that the Committee on Public Accounts or Public Accounts Committee does review all these reports of the CAG. So statement 3 is also correct. That leaves us with the answer B, that is 2 and 3 only. Now the next question deals with which of the following committee is the largest committee of the Parliament. So the keyword here is the following and the largest. Now by following it means that you have to give answer from among these 4 committees only. Now we know PSC has 22 members. Committee on Estimates has 30 members. Committee on Public Undertaking has 22 members. And Committee on Petition, we don't know how many members are there. Now let's look at some of the other committees of the House. Like the Departmental Standing Committee has the highest number of members with 31. Then the Estimates Committee has 30 members. We have discussed these two. Now there are 2 joint committees which has 30 members. The joint committees, one relates to the SC/ST and the other relates to the empowerment of women. So these 2 committees have 30 members. All the other committee of Parliament has less member than these 4 committees. So also we discussed Rules Committee, Committee on Ethics, Privileges. All these committees had, if you saw, 15 members in Lok Sabha usually and 10 members in Rajya Sabha, except the Committee on Rules had 16 members in Rajya Sabha, but that's an exception anyway. It's still way less than 20, so let alone be 30. So similarly, Committee on Petition also has 15 members in Lok Sabha and 10 members in Rajya Sabha. Most of the parliamentary committee, I'm repeating, most of the parliamentary committee has this similar amount of numbers, 15 in Lok Sabha and 10 in Rajya Sabha. So by that logic, the answer is the Committee on Estimates with 30 members. Now the next question deals with, it tells basically there's a statement which tells function of a parliamentary committee. Now what is the function? It scrutinizes and reports to the House whether the powers to make regulations, rules, sub-rules, bylaws, etc. conferred by the Constitution or delegated by the Parliament are being properly exercised by the executive within the scope of such delegation. So basically what it is telling is that the executive is following the proper rules, regulations, sub-rules, bylaws, which are either given by the constitution or delegated by the Parliament to the executive. And this committee basically scrutinizes and reports to the House on such matters. Now the options are Committee on Government Assurances. We don't know about this, its role. Committee on Subordinate Legislation, we again don't know its function. We do know the functions of the Rules Committee and Business Advisory Committee. Rules Committee basically looks into if any rule of procedure or business of conduct needs to be changed, if there's an amendment needed. So this cannot be true. Option C is not correct because it does not deal with these matters. Option D, that is Business Advisory Committee, it deals with day-to-day matter or like setting the timetable, etc. Again, these functions are not same, so option D is also correct. Now we are left with option A or B. Again, we don't know exactly what the function of these committees are. Let's look at the name, Committee on Government Assurances. What do we understand by the word assurance? Assurance means that you are trying to tell someone that yes, okay, I will do this or this will be done. You are basically assuring them that a certain matter will be taken care of. So the function of Committee on Government Assurance is it reports to the House. Say if a minister has assured the House or promised the House that said action will be taken. So the Committee on Government Assurances reports to the House what was assured and whether it has been done or not. That function, well, obviously you cannot arrive at the exact function, but you can understand what it relates to by the name of the committee, and hence by that logic, option A is also incorrect. We are left with option B, which obviously has to be correct, but this is the function of the Committee on Subordinate Legislation. Also, by the word subordinate legislation, you can relate it to the term delegated, because subordinate legislation means that something which has been given by a higher authority to a lower authority. So here Parliament or the Constitution is the higher authority which has given said power to the executive, and if the committee examines if the executive is exercising this power as following the right protocols while exercising these powers. So thus the answer is option B, that is Committee on Subordinate Legislation. Now the next question talks about, again it talks about the Public Accounts Committee. So the first statement says that the chairman of the Committee on Public Account is appointed by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. We have already discussed that Public Account Committee is a committee of the Lok Sabha, so its chairman will be appointed by the Speaker of Lok Sabha, and hence option 1 is correct. Now the Committee on Public Accounts comprises members of Lok Sabha, this is true, members of Rajya Sabha, true, and a few eminent person of industry and trade. Now this part of the statement is incorrect. So this is also a note to you that in the exam, please read the full statement. Don't just read till here and think that, oh yeah, this is correct, so the answer is both 1 and 2. No, statement 2 is incorrect. Be sure to read the entire statement. Don't hurry through the paper. Statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is correct. That leaves us with the answer 1 only. And now we have come to some other questions. So this question hasn't been asked in the UPSC examination. So let's look at the question. It says, which of the following parliamentary committee are exclusive to the Lok Sabha? So we have to talk about the committee which is exclusive to the Lok Sabha. Now the first option is Ethics Committee. Ethics Committee, as I have already told, was first constituted in Rajya Sabha, then constituted in the Lok Sabha. So that means that it is there in both the houses. So 1 is not true. Committee on Private Members Bill and Resolution. Now this committee is exclusive to the Lok Sabha. So statement 2 is an exclusive committee to the Lok Sabha. In case of Rajya Sabha, this function is done by the Business Advisory Committee itself. And again, Business Advisory Committee is there in Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha. So statement 3 is also not right. That leaves us with the answer 2 only, that is C. Also note that there are only 2 or 3 committees that are exclusive to Lok Sabha. The one here, Committee on Private Member Bill. Other we have already discussed, the Estimates Committee. And then there is a committee on some related to attendance of the members. So this is also a committee exclusive to the Lok Sabha. Anyway, so the answer of this question is C, that is 2 only. Now coming to the last question on Parliamentary Committee. So this question relates to the Departmental Standing Committee. The first statement is that they were first set up in the year 2004. This is incorrect. They were first set up in the year 1993. In 2004, their number was expanded from 17 to 24. So statement 1 is incorrect. The chairperson of the committee is the minister of the ministry they are concerned with. As I have told, these committees generally conform to a ministry or a department like Committee on Health, Committee on Defense, etc. However, a minister cannot even be member of the committee, let alone be the chairperson. So statement 2 is also incorrect. Now we come to the third statement. They are the largest parliamentary committee with a total of 31 members. This statement is true. We have already discussed this. Now choose the incorrect code from below. So we have to choose the incorrect code. Incorrect code is 1 and 2. So the answer is B. Please note again in exam, the question may say incorrect code. Don't mark the correct code in hurry. UPSC, here I have not given you an option with 3 only. Otherwise, UPSC may give you an option with 3 only, and many students will make this mistake. So be extra careful while reading the question. Do read all the statement properly and underline the important words there. Like incorrect here is important. You have to underline it while attempting the question. Anyway, so with this, the topic of parliamentary committee and the questions on it comes to an end. I have already told you some of the important things that you must remember in this topic, like especially with regards to prelims, you need to know members, how many members are there in a committee, if they are elected or they are appointed, who appoints the chairman of these committee. You can know the date when the committee was first formed for if there's a question based on chronological order. If members are elected by what system? So financial committees are elected by a proportional representation and following a system of single transferable vote, like in the case of President of India. And remember some basic functions of these committees. So that should cover the prelims related details. And for mains again, I have highlighted the topics that are more important is significance of parliamentary committee and the functions and limitations of public accounts committee and estimates committee. So these are the major area that questions may come from in mains. Question may also come on department standing committee, so you can read about it. But what I feel that PSC and estimate are more important, and significance of these committees are more important. Anyway, this topic is, like I've said earlier, more important for prelims. So definitely focus on this aspect. Even if you don't remember this, you have time to prepare for your mains. So go through the functions when you're preparing for the mains. The detailed functions are written in all the standard textbooks. You can look it up there. Thank you. Have a good day.